They told you the mainstream press would self-regulate, but here's your proof. President Donald J. Trump is taking the Wall Street Journal and its corporate overlords straight to the cleaners with a $10 billion defamation lawsuit. That's right. The so-called paper of record, backed by Rupert Murdoch's empire, dared to publish what Trump's legal team calls a false letter, supposedly penned by him wishing Jeffrey Epstein well. In a stunning move that sends a clear message to every big media outlet in the country, Trump's lawsuit accuses the Journal of printing irresponsible, reckless, and defamatory claims to score cheap points against a populist leader who refuses to stay silent. This isn't just about one letter, it's about reclaiming the truth from the clutches of a shrinking handful of news conglomerates that have turned into propaganda mills. The lawsuit demands not just retractions, but enough blood money to send the clearest warning. You can't smear the will of the people and then expect to get away with it. Every red-blooded American watching this spectacle should take heart. When the elite media goes too far, there's a reckoning. If the Journal thinks it can continue molding public opinion behind closed boardroom doors, it's about to learn that the silent majority won't be bullied any longer. The Trump administration just dropped a bombshell on both corporate interests and globalist schemers by slapping new limits on flights from Mexico and threatening to pull the plug on Delta Airlines' lucrative alliance down south. For years, free trade cheerleaders in D.C. have whispered about open skies while shipping American jobs and protections offshore. Now, with a decisive stroke of the pen, the administration is saying enough is enough. If Mexico won't play fair on trade and immigration, then its planes won't fill American airports, and its favored carriers can kiss their benefits goodbye. This bold stand is more than just a squabble over airline routes. It's a full-blown challenge to the transnational networks that have long dictated policy behind closed doors. Delta executives who've sipped cocktails in Manhattan boardrooms will soon realize there's no higher authority than the will of the American voter. And let's be clear, this move isn't just political theater. With real teeth behind it, we're looking at the beginning of the end for globalist overreach in transportation and beyond. The message is loud and proud. Put America first, or you'll lose access to the American market forever. Here's the tragic proof that red tape kills. A New York man died after wandering into an MRI room wearing a metal chain, only to be violently pulled into the machine's magnet and fatally injured. This freak accident shatters the illusion that big hospitals, run by faceless bureaucrats and profit-driven administrators, care more about patient safety than their bottom line. While regulators nibble at paperwork and committee meetings drag on for months, ordinary citizens risk life and limb at the hands of unchecked institutional negligence. Make no mistake, this was preventable. A single moment of common sense enforcement, no metal in the MRI suite, could have saved a human life. Yet the same establishment that promises world-class care in slick ad campaigns can't seem to enforce basic safety protocols. If you're fed up with being treated like a cog in a machine, or worse, a convenient statistic, take heart, the truth is out, and the people will demand accountability. When bureaucratic incompetence kills, it's time to tear down the old guard and rebuild with those who place human lives above bureaucratic red tape. Forget humanitarian concerns. ICE just got a $45 billion blank check to erect tent tentacles across America for detaining individuals accused of immigration crimes. President Trump's tough-on-border allies in Congress boosted ICE funding from $8.7 billion to a staggering $74 billion through 2029, enabling a rapid expansion of makeshift camps on military bases from Texas to New Jersey. They even coined a name for it, Alligator Alcatraz in the Florida Everglades, complete with flimsy tents that critics warn could become death traps during hurricanes or floods. Ask yourself, Is this the America you signed up for? A super agency swallowing taxpayer dollars by the truckload, cobbling together what amounts to mobile prisons? If you believe in secure borders, you still have to believe in accountability. And no one asked whether these camps meet basic standards for safety, oversight, or dignity. The real question now is whether Congress and the administration will keep this gravy train rolling unchecked, or if the people will rise up and demand that federal dollars build real solutions, like modernized processing centers, instead of a blueprint for disaster. Across the pond, the so-called soft approach to migration has finally cracked. Interior ministers from Germany, France, Austria, Poland, the Czech Republic, and Denmark just met atop Germany's highest peak, Zugspitze, to hammer out a joint declaration aimed at toughening EU migration laws. Chancellor Merz's pick, Bavarian conservative Alexander Dobrindt, openly derided Angela Merkel's open-door fiasco and vowed to end Germany's political isolation on migration. By storming the summit, these leaders have shown that self-interest trumps EU unity, and the doors are closing fast on migrants and globalist elites alike. They've agreed on 5 pillars of action: rewriting EU migration statutes, crushing human trafficking rings, harmonizing deportation procedures, beefing up border patrols, and cozying up to third-country partners. On the same day, they even deported 81 convicted Afghan nationals on a direct Leipzig-Kabul flight. If you still believe Brussels will handle migration with compassion, think again. The bureaucracy has snapped to attention, and the votes of real citizens have been quietly sidelined. It's time to wake up and demand government represent you, not a tired old technocracy. In a ceremony that few mainstream outlets will properly commemorate, Edwin J. Feulner Jr., the 83-year-old founder of the Heritage Foundation, passed away Friday. Feulner was one of the unsung architects of the modern conservative movement, advising presidents and laying the intellectual groundwork for policies that champion limited government, traditional values, and economic freedom. Yet as his funeral draws near, you won't see major networks rushing to turn his legacy into sound bites. They reserve that privilege for celebrity scandals, not statesmen who dedicated their lives to serving we the people. Feulner's death should be a clarion call. The conservative think tank model he pioneered remains the last bastion against runaway federal overreach and corporate cronyism. As politicians from both sides bow to big money interests, we'll need more fighters in Feulner's mold, unyielding, unapologetic, and fiercely patriotic. His passing is the end of an era, but also a reminder that progressives can't hold a candle to those who built the movement brick by brick. If you care about America's future, now is the time to step up, honor his memory, and keep his mission alive.